to Friday at 12:30 p.m. only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. Well, I'm Agam Akil and it's been another day of stellar gains for the benchmark indices, and we have seen some momentum now building up when it comes to the Nifty, which has managed to close above the mark of 11,300. And with the gains of around 133 points, we've seen substantial gains in some of these banking names in the private sector bank, and we're going to talk about that in a little more detail. IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank, something like an HDFC Bank, along with HDFC Limited as the only NBFC currently here, all advancing in trade and lifting the indices. Let's not forget the role of Reliance Industries gains another 2% after the 2.5% gains yesterday. So that also providing that lift, followed by another heavyweight like Larsen & Toubro right up there in terms of gainers, providing that impetus. On the losing end, we have weakness in perhaps a handful of names like Eicher Motors and Bajaj Finance, but if you leave that aside, we're looking at losses of less than 1% throughout. The broader markets, the picture isn't any different from what we saw yesterday, with some unusual names popping up with 16% gains in Manpasand Beverages, and some usual names as well like Indocount, CG Power for that matter, Gujarat Gas, Gujarat Mineral, Sensex, DLF, all advancing in trade. Lemon Tree Hotels, on the other hand, under pressure, as was the case for Navakanar Corp. HDFC Life Insurance, of course, was down because of its OFS. RCom continued to slide downwards, and Jayaprakash Power Ventures, among others, which are losing out. But as you can see from the gains, the momentum once again in today's day of trade was with the gainers. On that note, let me bring in our markets editor Neeraj Shah for his thoughts. Neeraj.
Yeah, I mean, what more can one say? It's just a roaring rally. The only question, and I think we got experts today as well talk about this, the only question is whether it's banks driving the rally, or is it because the rally is happening and the money is flowing into banks? Because clearly, with the FIs putting in the money the way they are, money will flow into the highest weighted space, which is banks, and which is why I think the Nifty Bank has done what it has done today.
Right.
The interesting bit was today, the mid caps didn't participate as well, and the Nifty breadth and the quantum of losses were higher than what happened in trade yesterday. It was just that banks were just an overpowering mood today that it doesn't quite show in the index. But volumes of 40,000 crores, F&O volumes 10,000 crores, 10 lakh crores. I'll be interesting to see what the FI numbers are yet again in today's session. And for how long does this party last? The world markets didn't seem completely off, save for the FTSE, which has got its Brexit-related issues. The Dow futures were okay as well, so no big concerns. But let's just see. Tomorrow, we may not have the kind of support that we had today from the global markets, so it'll be interesting to see how well the banks continue doing, or whether they take a bit of a pause after the rip-roaring rally. I just remember that after this move today, if we just look at the RSI indicators for the Nifty, it would show that we are now nudging that overbought areas on the Nifty 50. So it will be interesting to see if we do a bit of a pullback from here on.
Right. Neeraj, if I can just have a follow-up question on the banking sector, and if we can also take a look at the banks today. A bulk of the gains on the banking index, which was up as much as 1.7%, was on account of these 3 or 4 private sector names, actually all 5 of them. Neeraj, what are you making of the conversations from the experts that we've had so far?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, essentially, the weightage that these guys would have between themselves on the Nifty Bank would be close to 75 or 80%, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, that clearly shows what's happened here. I would reckon that by the nature of the moves that have happened, that this is FI money going into these stocks, and won't be surprised if the FI numbers are looking strong today too. Dhananjay Suna that we spoke to at about 250, and he's got a acute sense of what's happening to banks, believed that this is not a result of banks being fundamentally being looked at, but because money is coming into India, as it is going to a lot of other EMs as well, it is flowing into the highest weighted sector. He didn't see anything specific that has triggered this move on the banks. let's see. Maybe the quarterly numbers start giving us those triggers as well or no. But I'm interested in looking and hearing you, Agam, tomorrow morning about what the derivative picture is looking like.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if the picture has changed, because for now we were working with a range between 11,000 on the lower end and 11,500 on the upper end. I'm curious whether or not the number on the upper hand has changed. As this point in time. But Neeraj, thank you for that perspective.
Thanks, Agam.
And of course, that's as far as the broader markets are concerned. But there's one more stock that we want to address in today's Job Rate, and that's Dr. Reddy's. Well, it may not be a positive news, but there certainly is a positive development. And on that note, let me get in Darshan Mehta to apprise us of the same. Darshan.
Yeah, so what happened is that because now they actually launched the Suboxone drug, Dr. Reddy's did an interview with Bloomberg at their headquarters, and what G.V. Prasad is indicating is that they want Endeavor to pay them $70 million because of the delay that they had to face because of launching this drug. It's a $800 million brand sales drug. Now, right now, there are 4 to 5 players because Endeavor is there. They have the authorized generic in the form of Sandoz. Amneal is there. There is Dr. Reddy's. So a lot of companies have actually gone ahead and launched the drug. And because of the delay that was there, Dr. Reddy could not make money on that. So they sold for 2 days and then they had to get it back because of the cases. Now what they want is, because of the losses that they had because of the cases that Endeavor put out, they want to be compensated by close to $70 million. Whether that happens or no is anyone's guess, but nevertheless, that's a claim has been made. Probably they have filed it or no, but obviously a bond has also been put up by Endeavor in terms of this. If that goes in Dr. Reddy's favor, that could be a big boost for them.
Okay, Darshan, thank you for joining us and getting us those details on Dr. Reddy's. So, well, that's the update on that pharma company. But all in all, we've seen a lot of strength come into our markets. The question really is, do we see some consolidation? Do we see some profit taking in the near term? Or can we actually expect this rally to continue? These are questions that will be answered in the next few sessions. But on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of the Market Battle. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.